Hey, what's going on, guys? Of course, it's your friendly neighborhood Chris Chaos back here once again, telling you, well, pretty much asking you, did you know? Did you know? And like I said in the previous video, or the hype video for all my WrestleMania videos, did you know? I have listed here 17 things, just did you know? Did you know things that, oh, my eye is hurting. Just things that maybe you knew, maybe you didn't know. You know, just whatever. These are just kind of like little hidden gems about all the WrestleManias. Right now, I'm up to WrestleMania 14. Because that's just where I happened to stop before I started coming in trying to do more videos. And I'm doing most of these videos in one sitting, so please forgive me if you get tired of looking at the same white bandana and the same blue Hooters t-shirt. Hooters! By the way, if you're in the Nashville area, make sure that you go check those guys out because I got a lot of friends that work up in Nashville. Alright. WrestleMania, did you know? The first. Did you know that WrestleMania 1, the events leading up to WrestleMania 1 were actually broadcast on MTV? A lot of the matches and the storylines and everything were featured on MTV to kind of build in, and it helped with the whole rock and wrestling connection that they had going on. So that's just, did you know? WrestleMania 2 was the first WrestleMania that was aired on pay-per-view. It was actually WWE's second pay-per-view. Their first pay-per-view was called Wrestling Classic, and I believe it took place in February of '85. Now, no, it'd be '86, yeah. February of '86. Now, don't quote me on that because I don't have the date in front of me. But I think I remember reading it was February of '86. But also, WrestleMania 2 was held on a Monday. Did you know that? That's crazy. WrestleMania 2 was on a Monday. That's weird. To top it off, WrestleMania was held in 3 cities. WrestleMania 2 was New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. And no, I wasn't trying to flip you off. It just happened. Which was really crazy. I mean, how are you going to do... I wish they would do WrestleMania in 3 cities now. To see how big it could... Because it would be huge. Could you just imagine and have 3 main events, one for each city, like they did then? Could you just imagine if they did this WrestleMania there? You could have, like, The Undertaker and Triple H at Madison Square Garden in New York, and then you could have Alberto Del Rio and Edge in Los Angeles, and then you could have, if they did Chicago, which that would be kind of smart to copy it. And I'm hoping maybe for the 30th anniversary they'll do this. And then in Chicago you have The Miz and John Cena. I mean, just think about it. Or, you know, Detroit, or they could do it in San Antonio, or Houston, or even in Florida. You know, that's whatever. Or Atlanta, where they're doing it this year. Anyway, did you know that Atlantic City is the only city to hold WrestleMania in back-to-back years in the same venue, and that's Trump Plaza. Did you know that WrestleMania 4, IV is 4, had 16 matches? That's more than any WrestleMania ever, any other WrestleMania. Now, there's been a couple that's had 15 and 14, but this one had 16 matches. Look it up if you don't believe me. Hey, search Wikipedia if you don't believe me. Did you know that Edge, Christian, and Lance Storm were in the crowd at WrestleMania 6 as little kids? Well, maybe like teenagers or whatever. Did you know that WrestleMania 7 marked the start of The Undertaker's undefeated streak? By the way, that night he defeated Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Did you know that WrestleMania 8, well, WrestleMania 7, did you know the blindfold match? Did you remember that? Anyway, WrestleMania 8 was the first WrestleMania main event to not feature a WWE champion. It was Hulk Hogan versus Sid Vicious. Now, the only other WrestleMania was WrestleMania 1, and that WrestleMania had the WWE champion, but it wasn't a WWE title match. Every other WrestleMania up to that point, besides one, was the main event, meaning the last match on the card, was for the WWE title. But even one featured the WWE champion. It wasn't for the title, but the champion was in it, Hulk Hogan at the time. And this one, Hogan wasn't the champion, and neither was Sid. And for some reason, anyway. Everybody knows that just irks me. WrestleMania 9. Did you know Bret defended the WWE title at WrestleMania 9? Probably. But did you know that that was his third year defending or competing for a different title? WrestleMania 7, it was with the Hart Foundation. They lost the tag team titles. WrestleMania 8, Bret Hart defeated Rowdy Piper for the Intercontinental title. In WrestleMania 9, he lost the WWE title to Yokozuna. Did you know? Also, of course, did you know Jim Ross made his WWE debut at WrestleMania 9? The Roman Coliseum and the Roman tagline on WrestleMania, everybody's wearing togas, except for Randy Savage, which was kind of weird. Did you know that WrestleMania 9 was the only WrestleMania outside? And I say that it was the only WrestleMania outside because of the way the arena was constructed. It was constructed as an outside kind of arena. Not like WrestleMania 24 and others that were in domes and that had no, I guess, well, it was in a football stadium, WrestleMania 24, so I guess you could say that one was outside too. But that was WrestleMania 9 was the first one, and they were more surrounded by the elements instead of, you know, having 60,000 people. They had like 16. So there you go. Did you know that WrestleMania 10 was Randy Savage's last WrestleMania? He defeated Crush in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And did you know WrestleMania 11 was called the worst WrestleMania of all time, but at the same time, it was the event that saved WWE. At the time, it was the event that saved WWE while they were going against WCW. And this was back in 1995, so just remember that. WrestleMania 6, do you remember, more or less, the Hulkster, the Nacho Man, and Billionaire Ted? Look it up. Did you know that during the Hollywood Backyard Brawl, back lot brawl at WrestleMania 12 between Goldust and Rowdy Roddy Piper, there was footage of the LAPD chasing O.J. Simpson shown, and it was made to believe that it was actually Piper chasing Goldust in a white SUV, a white Bronco. It was kind of stupid. And lastly, what I have for this edition of WWE Did You Know? WrestleMania edition. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, was used for the first time at WrestleMania 14 in an interview he conducted with Jennifer Flowers. And again, go look it up if you don't know. I don't want to even get it started on Jennifer Flowers. Now, that's Did You Know Part 1. Wait till you see what I can come up with for Part 2.